Hello and welcome to a bonus edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Today is going to be a cryptic crossword solve, appropriately enough given the name of the channel. And the reason I'm going to do this is I had a Facebook message just yesterday from Mike Hutchinson, who is the crossword editor at The Independent, one of the newspapers here in the UK. And he recommends we take a look at this puzzle. It's by Hoskins. And I'm very happy to do so. So what I'll do is I'll try and solve it and talk you through my thoughts as I do. Here we go, one across. Stale wind sends American packing. So I read this as being a word for stale, and then wind or wind without A for American, or perhaps US for American. Wind. Could be a wind instrument as well. I'm not sure what that is. One down. Legal proceeding supports fine for splinter group. I can do that one. A splinter group is a faction, and that looks like it's F for fine. And then a legal proceeding is an action supporting that. It's a down clue. So the word action is supporting the letter F. All right, let's come back to this one then. Stale wind or wind sends American packing. Don't know. Let's look at that one. Tea given by empty officers' mess. I can do that one. Tea given by empty officers' mess. The word we're looking for here is a word that means mess. A short synonym for tea is char. C-H-A. Empty officers. If you empty out the word officers, you just get left with the first letter and the last letter, the O and the S. That creates chaos, which of course is mess. Let's keep going with the initial letters we're getting. I'm so pure I must change. This must be an anagram. To be tyrannical. So yeah, it's an anagram of I'm so pure I. Imperious or something like that. I think it is imperious. Yeah, for some reason my brain isn't quite working, but it does look like it's got all the right letters, so I'm going to go for that. 13 across. Sport drag perhaps at society dance. Well, a drag is a type of net, and that's all I needed to get the answer there, because a society dance is a ball. I put net and ball together, I get a name of a sport, netball. Let's try that one. Where veggies might not grow in difficult times. A bad patch? A difficult time would be a bad patch, wouldn't it? That might not be whether a vegetable might not grow in a bad patch. I think that sounds good. Stale. Is this flat? Stale wind or wind sends American packing. Stale. I really want that to be flat, but I have no idea why it is flat. Let's let my brain percolate about that one. Junkie, that's going to be user. User name then. So junkie, turned over European dude. Well, a European dude would be E for European, and dude is a man. If we turn that over, we get name. So we just add all that together, we get username. Let's try that one with an H in it. A revolutionary, that's going to be a Che, probably. A-C-H-E for Che Guevara. A way to save one, hurting the most. Atheist, yeah. So you can see how just a little bit of knowledge of, short synonyms that come up a lot in cryptic crosswords basically makes that clue a write-in. I know I'm looking for the A here at the start would never appear unless it was necessary, because if we read the clue without the A, it would read revolutionary way to save one hurting the most. It would mean exactly the same thing. So a good cryptic crossword clue has nothing superfluous, and this A therefore is necessary for the wordplay of the clue, and that's why I knew it began with A. Revolutionary, well, it's red or Che, and then we're halfway home in terms of getting the answer. Enliven, here I'm thinking animate immediately. Originally apathetic, that gives me an A. Nurse with one bud. One bud will be one and then mate. Yeah. So, originally apathetic nurse, I think is saying take the initial letters of apathetic and nurse. and then add 1, or I for 1, it's the Roman numeral for the number 1, mate for bud, and we get animate, which is enliven. Let's try 18 down. Upset teacher, bitten by hawk. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm thinking here straight away. Teacher, I'm thinking is going to be sir, because that's what you used to have to call your teacher at school. So an upset teacher would be RIS, and that sounds quite good because it's bitten by hawk, which explains why it doesn't begin with RIS. It might have RIS in the middle. Is one likely to take a holiday? Tourist. A tout is a hawk. So again, you can see how I'm just, it's nothing more than experience getting that. Let's try that one, beginning with I. Totally cool. Thinking ice here. To have a couple of lines. Cool. Totally. In all. If something's cool, it's in. A is this A here. A couple of lines. Double L. So totally cool. It doesn't mean anything to do with drugs. It just means totally. One who invests in the Guardian. That's going to be an angel. An angel investor is something that you might see in finance, and you have obviously a guardian angel. 23 down. Old Red sheets one Earl. Old Red. Lenin. Haha, I bet it's Lenin. Sheets one Earl switched around. I'm sure it's that. I can't quite see why. We'll come back to it. A chap at home. Oh, Argentina? Let's just see country at the end. That's why I'm thinking that. A chap is a gent. Yes, visiting. Clever wordplay. A chap at home visiting artist in the country. Well, here you have to know a very common abbreviation for artist in cryptic crosswords is RA, for Royal Academician. I can never say that word, but you know what I mean. So it's RA. So if we look at this, it's A, which is this A at the start. Then it's RA, Argentina. There. So because the chap at home needs to visit the artist. So the RA is surrounding the chap, which is the gent, and at home, if you're at home, you are in. So the wordplay is put together like that, creating the name of the country. This still looks like Lenin. This looks like Ellington, without me even looking at the clue. Duke. It is Ellington. That wife will leave for another duke. So, the Duke of Wellington. Okay, yeah. So the Duke of Wellington could leave, the W for wife could leave Wellington to give Ellington a different kind of duke altogether. So this is Lenin. Let me put it in and see if I understand why. So Old Red obviously is a Lenin, is Lenin as in an old communist. Sheets one Earl switched around. Sheets. Why can't I just see what that is? I am so daft sometimes. One Earl switched around. Sheets. What's sheets doing there? Sheets. Linen. Linen. With the 1 and the E for... Oh gosh, that's quite tricky. So this is linen with the abbreviation for 1, which is I, and the abbreviation for Earl, which is E, switched around in linen to give Lenin. And that's tricky. Okay, let's look at this one. Nurse and I let loose. This is an anagram, therefore, I think, of nurse and I let. Getting dirty. Unsterile. I think unsterile is probably a word. I think that looks like what the anagram is. So this one looks like sustain, maybe. Do not cross any politicians on election day. Do not cross any politicians. See, this feels like a pun. If you were to cross the name of a politician on election day, you would vote for them. I don't know what that is. 19 across. This would be very handy, wouldn't it? A naturalist, ultimately. So immediately I'm thinking A followed by T, the ultimate letter in naturist. I should even read the word. Well, it's interesting. I should read the word correctly, but it doesn't matter. I'm just looking at the last word as I read the last letter of whatever this word is as I read the clue. Had lost interest in wearing clothes. A naturist, ultimately, had lost interest in wearing clothes. That's tricky as well. I don't know what that is. 3 down. Society girl rejected having sex in sleeping bag. Well, I know society girl is probably a deb for a debutante. So if that's rejected, that would give the word bed, which sounds quite good for a sleeping bag. Bedroll, I think, maybe. Isn't that the name of a sleeping bag? If you have a roll with someone, you have sex with them. So I think bedroll might be the answer. I'm not 100% about that. Let me just... bed... I'm not thinking of anything better. Tiger, possibly. Stalking hind. Hind could be a word for... You see, the clue is trying to make you think it's a hind as in a deer. But I think it could be a hind as in your rear. So back, perhaps. Tiger, possibly. Stalking, a word for hind, back. So back, in the bush. Backwards. Tiger Woods. Lovely. Very good. Wouldn't be allowed in the Times newspaper because the Times isn't allowed to refer to anyone living apart from the Queen. And Tiger Woods is living, to my knowledge. 4 down. One might take these at university for starters. Courses? Yeah, I suppose starters are an example of a type of course you would have for a meal, and you might take a course at university. So W at the start. Sleep is one method to get fresh for the most part. Sleep is one method to get fresh. I do not know what that is, sorry. Let's look at this one. Street of houses by railway in Arundel demolished. Okay, well, Arundel demolished is an anagram of Arundel. Railway is probably either RY for railway, or sometimes you see L, as in the L train. So a street of houses is going to be... what is it going to be? Something Drury Lane. Ah, goodness. Street of theatre houses, then. I see. Very clever. So that one, sleep is one. Method will be way, then. Sleep is one method to get fresh. Oh, Wayne Sleep. The ballet dancer, I think. So sleep is an example of somebody called Wayne. Method way. Most of the word, a word for fresh, is most of the word new. That's very good as well. Duck seen in English Channel going the wrong way. Oh, duck. Evade. English. This is very good. This is making me laugh, which is very usual. So if you don't watch this in the UK, I don't know if you have the channel Dave in other parts of the world, but we have Dave. It shows old comedy shows. Always seems to be on my TV at home, although I'm never the one who's put it on. So how does it work? It's English E followed by the channel Dave, all going the wrong way, and evade means duck. So what's this going to be? Let's try and guess it before. Omaha, that's what I'm going to guess. Oh no, it's going to be Obama, isn't it? So old lady chasing old boy, and A. Old boy is OB, and A, this A, old lady is Ma. Put all that together, the former leader Obama. Has beer ruined? It's an anagram of has beer, a grizzly female. So it's not referring to a baby that's grizzly, it's referring to a grizzly bear. And a she-bear, therefore, would be an example of a grizzly female. 14 across. One who's likely to ridicule small chest. A chest is a coffer. So small s followed by coffer. You get scoffer, and that is somebody who's likely to ridicule. Live or live hornet buzzing round. Okay, it's going to be an anagram of hornet after live on, maybe. Oh no. Maybe it does mean live or live. On the air. If something is live, it's on the air. So the way this one works, if I could type, is it's an anagram of hornet, buzzing, because hornet is buzzing, it's being anagrammed around the outside of A1, which is first class. If something is A1, it's first class. So that's why that works. Do it and care not if given a kicking. Now that's an anagram of care not if, I'm sure. Do it. Do it. Fornicate. Okay. If you do it, you do fornicate. So another clever clue. Let's go on. I had touch of shame necking old man's tablets. I had touch of shame necking old man's tablets. iPads. I think that's iPads. I haven't quite understood it. I can see it's got par in the middle for old man. So I had I'd. Touch of shame is a touch of the word shame. That's the S. That necks, i.e. it surrounds or drinks, a word for an old man, par. And the whole thing means tablets. So that's how iPads gets discerned from that. A noble look. Well, a peer is a noble. And if you look at somebody, you peer at them. 20 down. Some cadre's Serbian chap who sorts out wounds or wounds. Well, this is an anagram, you can see. Not an anagram, it's a hidden. If you look at some of the letters of the string cadre's Serbian, you can see the word dresser. And a chap who sorts out wounds is somebody who dresses them. So that's how that one works. So we've just got 3 more, including the one I started with, which I still haven't got. A naturist ultimately had lost interest in wearing clothes. Attired would be a word that would make sense in this context. I haven't quite understood it yet. So that gives us the AT at the start, A plus the last letter of naturist. Had lost interest in. Okay, if you lose interest in something, you tire of it. In the past tense, tired. Wearing clothes, attired. So that's how that works, and therefore this is going to be abstain. Do not cross any politicians on election day. Okay, so if you don't cross them, if you don't vote for them, you abstain. So we're just left with this one. Oh no. Stale wind sends American packing. Is this like flatulence, is it? Is it flautus or something like that? Flat without the US at the end. That would be wind without US. And if something's stale, it's flat. I think it is that. This puzzle is... I did it. That does look like it's correct. Hoskins made me laugh many times with that puzzle. Very funny. Very enjoyable for that. I hope you enjoyed me going through it. It wasn't too difficult actually, but there's nothing wrong with that because it was so witty. So I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you did too, and we'll be back soon with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.